everyone's become too critical, too negative. मतलब 2 पिक्चर नहीं चली और सब लोग एकदम मतलब सबकी ऑब्वियसली लिखने के लिए तैयार रहते हैं. रुक जाओ यार, 1-2 पिक्चरें अच्छी आएंगी. नहीं चली कोई बात नहीं.
For all film-related interviews, reviews, and content, please like and subscribe to Puja Talwar. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram.
हेलो मेरी दिल्ली की दोस्त, कैसी हैं आप?
मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ. आप कैसी हैं दिल्ली वाली?
मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ महारानी. I mean, last time when we spoke about Maharani, did we even anticipate क्या blockbuster success होगा?
बिल्कुल भी नहीं यार. आपको तो याद है, मतलब मैं तो बोलती हूँ अच्छा बना है, ये है वो है, बट इतनी मोहब्बत, इतना प्यार, आई डोंट थिंक हमें पता था अच्छा शो बनाना है, बट इतना प्यार, मतलब बम्पर बम्पर.
हमें totally bumper blockbuster दे दिया आपने. And now we have a season 2. Does that, as an actor, I mean, for somebody who's also done sequels and part 2 films, कुछ anticipation anxiety होती है, because you have to live up to that, you know, the success of the first one, going forward, कैसा होगा?
There's no anxiety, I would say, but there's a lot of responsibility, because I feel अगर जब कोई series या कोई show या कोई film चल जाती है, तो I think लोगों की बहुत सारे emotion और expectations जुड़ जाते हैं. More than expectation, I think emotion, especially with a show like Maharani. I feel like in all my conversation with so many people and all the reviews and whatever I've read or heard, you know, people have really owned the characters. They have really identified with the characters. So then I feel like if the character does not live up to, you know, their expectation, then they feel little cheated. तो हमको बस वही ध्यान रखना है कि मतलब people should get like a good emotional payoff when they watch season 2 as well.
And अब महारानी 2 में महारानी को तो और कुछ सियासत में रहकर बहुत कुछ डील करना पड़ रहा है. ऑपोजिशन एंड गुंडागर्दी एंड एवरीथिंग. ऑपोजिशन तो अपनी इंडस्ट्री में आपको यूज्ड टू हो गए. आप कैसे डील करते हैं?
नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, बट आई फील लाइक हाँ बेचारी अकेले फंस गई गुंडों के बीच में रानी भारती. बट आई कैन अश्योर यू वो मतलब शी होल्ड हर ओन. एंड खासकर बाकी गुंडे नहीं है, मतलब घर पे ही इतनी मतलब बैटल लाइंस आर ड्रॉन ना, मतलब भीमा भारती. तो आई थिंक सीजन 1 के एंड में जब उसको जेल भेजा उसके बाद से तो मतलब ऐसे क्रॉस लग चुका है उनके रिलेशनशिप में. एंड जो हमने टीजर में भी दिखाया कि वो कैसे जेल से कोशिश कर रहे हैं चीजों को मैनिपुलेट करने की और कंट्रोल करने की. तो एंड बट रानी का एक ही जवाब है कि शांति रख, सब होगा.
Hell hath no fury, no, than a woman scorned, huh?
Well, I mean, she's not wrong. She's just doing the right thing. I know a lot of people. Somebody told me, in fact, after season 1 के end में कि बहुत अच्छा था, but you know, like why was she's such a devout wife and a family woman and a traditionalist? How will she go against her husband? I was like, but इसका तो मतलब भगवत गीता में है कि जब आप धर्म का साथ दोगे कि जो आपके अपने कुछ गलत कर रहे हैं आप उनका साथ दोगे. So I think she's really a devout person, which I think she is. I believe she is, and you know, she's so steeped in her tradition, and she will not allow her husband to do something wrong. You know, she will stop him. And this is not she punishing him. This is so she's stopping him from doing something that's actually cardinally just wrong. And that's what makes Rani so beautiful, right? Because she does the right thing when some of us would not dare.
Absolutely. So when she first came to you on paper, what was your reaction to translate her, to get into her headspace? What was it like when you first read her?
Yeah, she was my first Zoom narration. You know, COVID had just happened, and we were a couple of months into it, and Subhash sir called me. You know, of course, I'd worked with him before in the very successful Jolly LLB2, and you know, we spoke often about working together, and I was like, so I have to be directed by you again and all that, but give me something more meaty this time. You know, all those conversations that you have with people. And then he said, actually, I am developing something and I'm going to narrate it to you. And then we had my first narration, Zoom narration. The Zoom narration was a very, now to Zoom normal ho gaya, it's the new normal. But at that time, it was a new concept and I had to download it and figure it out and all that jazz. And the Sony Live team was there and Subhash sir was there and I heard it and I was like, interesting. And I said, आप मुझे पढ़ने के लिए please भेजो ना. तो then I read it also. Interesting तो बहुत है. Like, but मैं कर पाऊंगी because you know this is nothing like me. But I'm like अगर सुभाष सर को लगता है मैं कर लूंगी तो मतलब कुछ तो होगा. मतलब you know like कुछ तो उन्होंने देखा होगा. And then of course like the usual stupid thoughts आते हैं या लोग आपके दिमाग में डालते हैं so unglamorous, गाँव का, beautiful भी नहीं है, मतलब ठीक है fine, she's not that old. I mean, we've sort of established her age is 27 because गाँव में जल्दी शादी हो जाती है, but 3 बच्चे हैं. What is this? It's an ageist industry. Why would you do this to yourself? And I'm like, should we speak to the makers, make it 1 kid, not 3. So I'm like, nahi yaar, I can't do this. It's such a beautifully written piece. If as an actor, I bring my own insecurity into this and try and say, nahi, isme glamour hona chahiye, ya isme ye nahi hona chahiye, wo nahi hona chahiye, I will spoil it. So what I had to do is, honestly, I had to get out of the way. I had to get all my conditioning out of the way and be like, no, I'm going to submit to this because this piece of material deserves that, so I will be a lesser actor and a lesser person if I don't allow this to be made the way it has to be made. So I completely submitted. I wore the dirty, cheap synthetic sarees. I tucked it in. I worked in the fields. I went darker. I went de-glam. I worked very hard on my diction. And of course, Subhash sir, Nandan Umaji, the writers, they did a fab job of creating this beautiful world and these lovely dialogues, which I loved saying because you never have this dialogue bazi anymore, that we get to do. So I really enjoy this old school dialogue bazi. So, and in the assembly and all, so I was really excited and I feel really honored that I got the opportunity to play such a wonderful, rounded, real, beautiful, heroic character like Rani.
And it's the thing is also in your career, you've broken, you silenced the chatter, as you said, that conditioning and what people put in your mind, ye mat karo, ageist industry, which we all know, aise mat play karo. But in your career graph, you've broken through that. Had you heard that, to aap yahan tak to nahi pahunch pati na, agar wo pehle hi sun leti aap. But are you now happy with the narratives that are being written? Maybe we are not still there, but we have crossed major boundaries and hurdles. But are you really happy with the kind of narratives being written for women instead of using them as mere fillers?
I think so. I think, of course, there's still that stuff that will keep happening, but there's room for all sorts of, content to be made. But I'll tell you, for me now, like this has been such an awakening because, we always feel, and somehow there's a misconception that one must always follow the herd because there's safety in numbers. That's the biggest lie that ever existed. As an artist, in fact, the more you stand out and do something different, the more people will reward you. I did a show like Maharani and it's really rewarded me in my career. All the films and the stuff that I'm doing now are all things that I've always wanted to do. And they may not be anything like Maharani. They are in fact so starkly different and so diverse. But because I put myself out there and I submitted and I did something as out of the box as Maharani, is I think I've got the opportunity and the makers to believe in me that, okay, no, she'll pull it off. Let's give her something that no other actress is willing to do.
But एक चीज in industry में कब बदलेगी आप बताओ. ये सब बोलते हैं हीरो 50 साल का, 55 साल का या 60 साल का हो, मगर उसकी हीरोइन जरूर 16 साल की होगी. हीरोइन 30 साल की हो जाए मगर उसको 25 साल का हीरो नहीं देंगे.
इसको बदलते नहीं है, इसको हल्का सा ट्वीक कर देते हैं. हम भी जब 50 के होंगे तो 16 साल का लड़का लेके.
Why not? Actually internationally you see these romances doing very well. Older woman, younger man. हम क्यों नहीं accept कर रहे हैं?
करेंगे, बनाएंगे, ये भी बनाएंगे. ये समय भी आएगा. आ ही रहा है. आप देखो ना, ऑलरेडी पहले कुछ समय पहले तक ही मतलब leading lady to get married or have a child, मतलब they used to be like hidden away as if it's like a bad thing. But today I feel so proud of all the women and all my colleagues, who are getting married and having babies and still having thriving, flourishing careers with aplomb, and more power to them and all of us. I mean, and this has just happened in the last, 10, 20 years. So, I mean, things are already changing.
And it's amazing how they're flaunting the baby bumps. They are going on set, though they have also had to face this.
As they should, because it's not something to be embarrassed about or ashamed about, or I mean, see, ultimately it's about like rejecting this kind of dakyanusi concept, right? Because like you won't be desirable, people will not accept you as a heroine. Like who will not accept you? They all have been working and they all are doing very well, and like I said, more power to them. So
हीरो को एक्सेप्ट कर लेते हैं, 3 बच्चों का बाप भी हो या 4 बच्चों का भी हो, 5 बच्चों का बाप हुआ. I mean, as a woman, why would I want to like have a crush on a hero who's already married with a brood of kids?
Correct. Equally wrong.
Exactly. I agree with you. So next आपकी आ रही है Tarla. I think you पहले क्यों नहीं आया? You make a perfect Tarla Dalal. I have met her, you know. I have met her and I have met her in person. It was towards, it's been 10, 15, I think it's been 15 years ago. उनका एक इंटरव्यू किया था हम सब ने because she was the textbook of cooking. What was that? And when I saw you, I was like, ये तो perfect Tarla Dalal बनी. कैसे बनी आप?
Yeah, पता नहीं, मतलब I was very happy when Ashwini and Nitish sir called me, you know, and I think they saw Maharani and they said, we want to offer you something. And I was like, okay. And I've always wanted to work with the both of them. They both are so lovely, sweet people and amazingly talented directors. And now they've turned producers. So they were producing this with RSVP and they had this lovely, lovely Piyush, whose first film it is, but of course he has a lot of experience in writing Chichore, Dangal, all these wonderful films. So I really had a wonderful team to help me play Tarla, and I had too much fun playing Tarla. And yeah, I can't wait to share it with everyone. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm too tall to play Tarla Dalal and too North Indian to play Tarla Dalal. So I was very nervous. But I think for me it was also a challenge because Delhi की लड़की ना तो मतलब जितने भी North के accents हैं वो मैं पकड़ लेती हूँ झट से. तो अरावली के नीचे थोड़ी गड़बड़ होती है मुझे, जैसे Maharashtra, Gujarat, or any of the South Indian whatever. So I had to get an accent coach, but I was adamant कि नहीं यार मैं गुजराती करके दिखाऊंगी और बन के दिखाऊंगी, but also not the ganda wala caricature Gujarati, which I feel like, you know, that's not nice. I mean, the idea to do a character, and even with Maharani, that was a fear, right? Just because you're speaking Bihari, you should not make fun of that accent. It should not sound caricaturish. It has to be as real can get. So that was the intention, and I think we've made something beautiful, and I can't wait to share it with everyone.
I'm sure cooking to must have been a by hat ka khel because you must have been so convincing in the kitchen.
He was vegetarian. You don't understand. I'm a hardcore मुसलमान बिरयानी कोरमा कीमा मतलब वो वाला खाने बनते हैं हमारे घर में और तरला जी was a pure vegetarian. तो मतलब and so मैं पीयूष को बोल रही थी, मैंने कहा इससे पता चलेगा मैं कितनी अच्छी एक्ट्रेस हूँ because she's like saying oh ho chicken नहीं and I'm like oh chicken.
Yeah, because I remember your brother telling me you make the best biryani. Like it was all praises for your cooking. So I was like, ये तो बाय हाथ का खेल होगा.
He was lying. I cannot make biryani at all. I can make keema. Wow. I can make korma. Rice is a tricky situation. Rice.
What a sweet brother.
I think.
He's okay. वो तेरे कब कहता ना he's alright. कभी ठीक हो जाता.
Actually okay. He's not. He's also not home right now, so I can say whatever I want to say about him.
But it's amazing, Huma. Also, do you as an actor feel that OTT space, I mean, it's changed the entertainment scenario, has given actors much more, and also हम लोग देख रहे हैं box office versus OTT. I'm not getting into that. Not that the great movies are doing those 130 करोड़ की पिक्चरें इतना कुछ नहीं कमाल कर रही हैं, बल्कि everyone's watching everything on OTT. It's given us that much also. We need to go to the theaters. But for an actor, do you think it's given you a wider canvas? Because there are many things maybe makers would be hesitant, maybe you as an actor would be hesitant to do, but now there is no hesitancy. It's, you know.
I am doing, to be honest, a mix of both. You know, I mean, I'm doing a mix of both. I'm doing the theatrical films also. I'm doing the OTT space also. So, I mean, I'm actually quite blessed in that sense. And I feel as an actor, I don't want to choose. There will be some stories that are meant for a large screen experience.
Yeah.
And because I've been a 90s kid and I've grown up on that experience, I want that for myself.
वो पिक्चरें बन नहीं रही हैं.
हाँ, but बन रही हैं और ऐसा देखो इतना मैं इतनी पेसिमिस्ट नहीं हूँ. I know मतलब मैं जितने भी जर्नलिस्ट से बात कर रही हूँ सब अरे एक फिल्में खत्म हो रही हैं, पिक्चरें नहीं बन रही, चल नहीं रही. हम लाइक 2 पिक्चरें आएंगी और आप सब दूसरा गाना गाओगे,
सब भूल जाओगे. सही
सब भूल जाओगे.
I think we've also become too critical.
Yeah, everyone's become too critical, too negative. मतलब 2 पिक्चरें नहीं चली और सब लोग एकदम मतलब सबकी ऑब्ituary लिखने के लिए तैयार रहते हैं. रुक जाओ यार, 1-2 पिक्चरें अच्छी आएंगी, नहीं चली कोई बात नहीं. मतलब you know, you also have to understand that just post COVID, this is a fresh lot of films that's coming.
Absolutely.
All these makers and actors and producers have held on to these films for so long, not released them because of theaters. Of course, these films we don't even know the reality of how they were made, what happened, blah blah blah. So let's be little kinder, I think. You know,
no, I agree with you. I think also we are too critical. I agree with what you've said about everything. If we want to cancel films, we want to cancel artists, we want to question them. why aren't we letting art not survive and thrive for art's sake? Why does everything need to get a political, religious, socio connotation?
No, and just let people be. Just let people be. I'm saying, and stop being in, and everybody like this pop judgment, instant verdict कि उसमें आ गए. मतलब, I mean, to be honest, like I feel like because everybody is in a rush to be the first one to report something or to give an opinion on something, we have lost the value of really absorbing things. आप कोई पिक्चर देखो, कोई फिल्म देखो, absorb करो. मेरा दूसरा मानना ये है कि एज एन ऑडियंस आपको क्या फर्क पड़ता है पिक्चर ने 100 करोड़ कमाए या 20 रुपए कमाए. आपको पिक्चर अच्छी लगी, आप फिर से देखोगे, टीवी पे बाद में दिखाएंगे, देखोगे. मतलब who cares how much money Mughal Azam made? Nobody cares, but you remember it, right? So I mean,
absolutely.
So why does it not? Why are we as media people or artists or whatever talking about numbers in the public domain? Because it doesn't affect my mother. Like she doesn't care.
This is what Manoj Bajpayee said. Talent की बात कर लो, content की बात कर लो. Don't get into box office.
अच्छा लगा, मुझे वो एक्टर पसंद है, बड़ी कहानी बहुत अच्छी थी, उसमें अच्छी सीख थी. हमारे घर पे तो ऐसी बातें होती है. ये नंबर्स किए कि नहीं किए, आपको क्या फर्क पड़ता है? वो तो प्रोड्यूसर फाइनेंसर का प्रॉब्लम है.
पंकज त्रिपाठी said ना to one journalist, आपने पैसे लगाए थे क्या पिक्चर में?
हाँ, आपको क्या लगे? हाँ, वो बेचारे प्रोड्यूसर की प्रॉब्लम है, वो सोचेगा, उसको क्या करना है.
But as an actor, what do you as
आप और उसके दिमाग खराब कर लो, वो तो ओहो,
सही.
Indian cinema is in trouble. अरे दो
But for an actor,
Indian cinema is back again. Indian cinema never went anywhere. We always knew it.
कान में पिक्चर सिलेक्ट नहीं होगी, why Indian films don't make it, और एक ऑस्कर नहीं मिलेगा, why Indian films nomination नहीं होएगा, why Indian films nomination होएगा.
उनकी आप लोग पॉपुलर मीडिया में बात नहीं करते हो क्योंकि वो बहुत छोटी फिल्में होती हैं, बहुत ऑफबीट फिल्में होती हैं.
Who is this director? I have faced it in the newsroom. Who is this person they're talking about?
Yeah, we don't care who is not popular enough for us or whatever because
आजकल तो वो भी तो है, सोशल मीडिया में नंबर कितनी फॉलोइंग है इनकी.
हाँ, ये नई दिक्कतें हैं ना ये.
सही. Social media numbers, and like young stars that told me they get auditioned on the basis of their social media numbers. So acting गई तेल लेने.
Amazing.
चलो, but आपने तो blockbuster दे दी महारानी. But as I'll call you Maharani, for somebody who's seen the change, been part of the changing times, what is the one thing you want to see change going forward as an actor and as a female actor?
Well, I think I'm honestly personally having a lot of fun, and I'm personally seeing a lot of change, whether it's my own career or things around me, the kind of stories that are being written, the kind of scripts that are being written. Of course, it can get better. I feel like I would like to see a lot more women leading films, all sorts of films, because I know there's still a bias somewhere when it comes to women headlining projects or a certain size of projects, and that bias needs to go because there's no reason for that. मैं ये बोलती हूँ कि हमको भी चांस दो, हम भी करके दिखाते हैं, छक्का तो हम भी मार सकते हैं. So I think I would like to see a lot more of that for myself and for everybody in general, the industry in general.
It's lovely chatting with you. I hope to see you in person very soon. आपका डबल का मीठा मेरे को अभी तक याद है, जो हमने डिस्कस किया था, वो नसीब नहीं हुआ, तो शायद पर्सन में मिलेंगे तो हो जाएगा.
जब अभी मुलाकात होगी तो करें.
All the very best. Hopefully a season 3 soon. So more power to Maharani.
Thank you so much. Always lovely chatting with you. Bye.
Likewise. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
If you've liked this interview, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram.